chicken broth, liquid diet, Thursday, and I have to go for my first ever cold. Never had to have one before, so don't know what to expect, but I hear it's not fun. Actually, I heard tonight is worse, so we'll see come tomorrow. But we're not gonna let that ruin some fun ideas for today's video. So I thought today I would share ideas. Yeah, let me go shut my door. All right, so since we're all wrapped up in our Apple unit right now, I thought I would share with you some ideas that we're doing right now for apples, and I got a couple games, a couple crafts, and some different things that I want to share with you today. So as I'm sitting here eating my lunch, I'm gonna get that stuff ready, and I'll be right back pretty soon with some ideas for you. Whoa. I totally almost dropped my camera. So with this Apple unit, we're brainstorming apples, we're talking about fall, we're doing everything that we can to teach them about apples, and honestly a lot of the stuff is they already know. But we made these two cool little lists. I talked about this one. I like to make lists on this list paper. This is just paper. I think I got this at IKEA actually. It's like a big roll of paper. It's what I use over here. This right here. And it's so much easier than the chart paper because it's not as wide. It's a lot skinnier and it takes up less room. So we made lists about things that they know about apples. Then we started brainstorming Johnny Appleseed. We turned this into a cool journal and writing activity, If I Were Johnny Appleseed. And they talked about all the things that Johnny Appleseed did. And then they used this to write their words for ones that don't know how yet, to write the words in there. And it's worked out really well. So we've been making lists about apples. We've been making these cool little crafts. And I'll show you here pretty soon how I make these. These are apple tree craft we do every year. We made this craft that we saw on Pinterest where they just cut a paper plate and then they paint the top and bottom. We put a star stamp in there to go along with the story Nature's Secret about the star in the apple. They use the edges of the paper plate, the leaves for their apple that will get stapled on the top of that. So everything has been all about apples. Apples, apples, apples. We did a graph over here. We're learning about comparing numbers, more and fewer. So we graphed our favorite color of apple, and they all graphed them there. Obviously red was the clear choice in my classroom. And then let me see what else. Oh, a game. I got this cool game to show you that my neighbor Tiffany showed me. So this is a game that we use with a die or a couple dice. Let me set up here and show you. Gotta grab a die. Sorry, Trisha hates it when I call it dice. I know that's wrong. So my neighbor next door, Tiffany, showed me these. Apparently they need somebody in the office. These little trees, I don't know where she got them. She's out at lunch right now, so I can't tell you where she got them, but they're just little trees. Maybe she drew them and colored them, I don't know. Little tree, you're using this, we're using a die, and we're using our red and yellow counters. And I'll show you a video of the kids playing this here in a minute, but all they do is they roll the die, they count out how many it landed on, and they put either red, one partner, puts down that many red apples, the next partner rolls, they put down yellow apples. And we line them up in rows so we can compare 1 to 1, and then they're talking about who has more, who has fewer. Then they sweep them off the tree, and then just let me show you. Watch this video. These are my kids playing that game.
Again. I got 1, 3, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, you have 5. I've been starting. I got 1 more cube. 1.
Now the 3 little boys you saw there, I had a group of 3 because I had an odd number today. So they took green counters and they were comparing 3 different numbers, and they did really well with that. So to make this harder, we're going to start adding double die and more counters, and then I thought about putting some of my higher sided dice in there too for my higher students that could add numbers together or count higher numbers, and really getting into that more and fewer with bigger numbers, comparing numbers. So great little apple game, great little tip. Just use trees or green paper. It doesn't have to be a tree, just use a green paper, roll it out, use your counters or whatever you have to do, manipulatives, and compare. I have more, you have less. I have 2 more, you have 2 less. I have 1 more, you have 1 less, whatever. So thank you to Tiffany next door for that idea, and I hope you like that video of my kids playing that game. It's a lot of fun. All right, I'm gonna show you how to make that craft now. All right, to make this craft, all you need is some paper, scissors, glue, and paint. So the kids all start with a blue sheet, just like this. This is our sky. Then you give them a brown strip of construction paper. I don't know, that's like 2 inches wide, I guess, to glue down as their trunk. Like that. Then you give them a strip of green paper that's the same width is this, because now they're gonna chop this into grass like this. And then to separate it, I always do this. I show them how to mix it up to make it look like grass. And this is a craft my team has done for years, ever since before I came, so I don't know where it came from or who the idea was from. My team's done it forever, but it's a fun little craft to do with apple trees. Like that. Then, this is the best part. We give them a circle on paper, and instead of cutting it, because we talk about how trees all look different, they just rip it up. So, and they get their tree shape. I showed them to glue on the side with the black. That way we don't see the lines. There we have our tree. Just like that. Then, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to get messy right now, but I give them green, yellow, and red paint, and I showed them how in these little cups they just touch their finger to it. They don't dunk it. They just touch their finger, and they had to stamp out 10 apples. So they stamped out 10 apples onto their tree, and then we hung those up around the room. I decided to put apples falling down through the sky. Some drew birds in the sky. Someone even did, here's Lane. Lane did yellow apples, drew the sun and the sky up there. So they took it and ran with it, and I love it because they all look different. Everybody made it their own, but that's how to make that craft. It's a super simple one. Fun one to do with your kids. All right, so that's about all I got for you today. I gotta get my sub stuff ready for tomorrow. The kids are coming in. Lunch is almost over. They're gonna be inside pretty soon. And I gotta go finish my liquid lunch, Jell-O and a Sprite. So wish me luck tomorrow. I'm going to try to record from home tomorrow about some ideas that I have coming up and share some things that I'm going to be doing with all of you. But if not, you understand why. But there you go. There's a lot of Apple ideas. If you have any other ideas to elaborate on those, share them in the comments down below. But thank you to Tiffany next door and anybody else that shared ideas with me. And there you go. That's our Apple unit and how it's getting started. I'll do a big recap at the end and tell you all the more stuff like the books and the games and the reading tubs and the centers and everything that we've done, just like I did for boot camp because I think you guys liked that. But that's it for Apples today. That's what we're doing. I had to share that with you because we've been doing so many fun things and I wanted to get out there. And hopefully you can use those in your classroom too now that fall is here. Have a good one, guys.